You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, June 26th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by the compañera this morning. We have the lovely Grace Monroe, and all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, how you feeling today, Grace?
I had a great night's sleep. I woke up on the sunny side of the street, whatever. As I saw that Nosebleed, shout out to Nosebleed, always holding it down. I saw that he put, oh my God, I just said Saul. Y'all, I'm so country sometimes. Just let it happen. I saw that in the chat, Nosebleed said, why do I always sleep better after a Yankees win? And I'm like, period.
Oh.
That's true. Millions of people across the country, across the globe, slept better last night because the Yankees won that game. So thank you, Yankees.
No, 100%, Grace, and I got to double down on that. Going to sleep last night knowing that the Yankees won was good because we've been struggling. The Yankees have been fumbling. In the month of June, the New York Yankees are under 500. When it comes to extra innings, we know the New York Yankees, they have the worst record on the road and in the season when it comes to extra inning games. The New York Yankees are 1-6 this year, 0-5 on the road. So, yes, it's good to go to sleep knowing that the New York Yankees won. But we're going to dive into the conversation. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to the New York Yankees. Let's start out the chat before we go on. Anna Marie is in the building. Shout out to Anna Marie. Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Our guy, the Ace Avenue. How you doing, Jonathan, good morning. How you doing? Tina's in the building. The Yankee Country Discord is there. Make sure you guys go and join that Discord. It's an amazing Discord with a beautiful community. Tina's one of the head moderators over there. Shout out to our good friend Tino. My man Lorenzo Cardona's in the building. Enzo, how you doing? I miss you, my guy. I hope all is well. Nathaniel Crenshaw is here. How you doing? Good morning. Jacob Petruzzi, the young king. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's, Jacob. I appreciate you dropping Ace's channel in the chat. Like always, guys, follow and subscribe to our guy, the Ace Avenue. He's family over there. AO Production. Shout out to my guy A in the building. How you doing? Salute, salute, salute. Jason Custodio is in the building. Just to let you guys know, AO Production is another dope videographer, dope Yankee fan. I see him all the time when I'm in Yankee Stadium with my boy Caleb Vasquez, but he likes to hang around the Toyota Terrace section. So shout out to my guy. Like I said, Jason, shout out to you. Who else? Carl is in the building. Appreciate all you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Grace, when it comes to subscribers, we are sitting at 5,481 subscribers. We are almost at 5,500.
Wow.
So if you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help us get over that threshold so we can keep on elevating as we keep on growing. But Grace, the Yankees, they won. They beat the Reds last night. I had to watch the game on replay because I was working Citi Field last night for the Mets game. If you guys don't know, I was able to do a dope interview with Ronald Acuna Jr., presenting him with his Latino Sports MVP award from a couple of years ago. He wasn't able to get it because he was injured. I'll play that later on. But Grace, I'll kick it over to you because you were watching it live. I had to watch the replay. So break down the game and we'll start the convo off with you.
Well, the thing that stands out the most to me about the game last night was that, was that it was a slow trickle of runs that added up to the final. I think we had 7 runs at the end. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 runs at the end. But it wasn't the typical, big home runs and only home runs and all that. It was a lot of they did a lot of little things. So I really considered the game an overall team win, which even though we did have 1 home run from Jazz, there was Giancarlo, I think it was Giancarlo that was on base in front of him that he got 2, I think he had 2 ribbies. Yeah, Giancarlo was on base in front of Jazz. So when he hit the home run, it was 2 ribbies there for him. But it overall was a team win. And that is what we needed so badly. So watching people or watching the guys get on, steal bags, and come in was huge. We all needed to see it. We had some good defense yesterday. We worked some walks yesterday. We had some hits yesterday, and we kind of spread it around. Plus, also, of course, we had Max Fried on the mound, who led the charge and was absolutely incredible yesterday, as per usual. First pitcher to reach 10 wins this season. He's on a Cy Young trajectory. I mean, I know he's competing with Tariq Skubal there for the American League Cy Young, but he's got my vote. He's been absolutely incredible. So, with all that being said, it was what we needed to see from the Yankees. A good, solid team win across the board. Lots of little things, and it was a sign of life. That's why the headline today for our show is Signs of Life, because we need to take this victory, build on it, keep it going. I'm sure it felt great to the guys. So overall, good team win.
Yeah, no, definitely a good team win. And our guy Big Ant NYC with the $5 super chat helping us keep the lights on over here. He said something real good here, right? You mentioned the Yankees 1-6 record in extra innings. What does that say about Boone? Jason Dominguez got 4 hits, but I won't be surprised if he gets benched. Grace, I'll let you answer that since Jason Dominguez is somebody that you follow so closely.
I just love him so much, y'all. I want to emphasize to everyone that he is still growing. He is learning. He's not even close to his peak. Not even close to his peak. He's coming around on the right side. He's got power and everything else, all his tools from the left side. His defense is improving. It is so impossible for a rookie to get into a rhythm when he's not getting everyday reps. It is malpractice. It is unheard of. It is not how you treat your number one prospect. It is not how you treat the future of your franchise. Despite this scenario, he is excelling. That is how talented Jason Dominguez is. 4 hits yesterday, 12 or 13 stolen bases on the season now. 12 stolen bases on the season now. Not only does he steal second, he steals third. I mean, there is a narrative going around right now in Yankee circles that absolutely appalls me to my core, which is that Jason Dominguez does not have a high baseball IQ. And I'm like, where is this coming from? This is absolutely absurd to me. Absurd. It's not fair. It is not fair, this narrative that he has a low baseball IQ because he got thrown out one time in a high leverage situation, a high visibility situation that upset the fan base, and now everybody thinks he's not smart on the base paths. Bullshit. Sorry, y'all got me riled up already, but I'm calling BS on that. He is so smart on the base pass. You cannot have a successful stolen base rate without intelligence. You can have speed all day long, but if you're not smart, you will not be successful stealing bags. I mean, the fact that he's moved to the corner outfield and he's improved there, the fact that he has improved so drastically from the right side of the plate as well as his progress on the left side of the plate, and the fact that he's doing it all, speaking a new language on a new team where he doesn't even get everyday reps, how dare you say that he doesn't have a high baseball IQ? Y'all have really riled up the mama bear over here in me because Jason Dominguez is my little baby, and y'all about to fight me because how dare you say he does not have a high baseball IQ? The situation that this kid is in is absolutely unheard of, impossible, and yet he is still excelling.
I want to shout out to more people that just trickled into the conversation. Shout out to my guy, Caleb Vasquez, who is in the building. Shout out to you, Caleb. I hope all is well. Big time Jerry Cadell is in the building. Shout out to Theo Jerry. Old Sarge is in the building. Shout out to Old. I had to make sure I had the right plug in. I didn't want to think we was RIP and Old Sarge. But shout out to Old Sarge, who is in the building. One thing I want to say, Grace, is there's a difference between a player saying a player has no baseball IQ or whatever they want to say, and trying to hold a player accountable for a mistake that they made on the base path. Jason Dominguez forgetting how many outs they were in that situation is inexcusable. I don't think anybody is making excuses for him.
It was strikes. It
say,
wasn't outs, it was strikes. But yes.
No. He said no. After the game, he said he forgot how many outs there were because there was one out. So when the player made the out, he was heading back to the bench, thinking that it was 3 outs when there were 2 outs. That's why he was thrown out, because he thought that there were 3 outs instead of 2 outs. But regardless, there's no.
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah.
Because the player struck out looking, and he was caught walking towards the Yankees dugout, the visitor dugout, thinking that it was 3 outs when there were 2 outs, and then that's how he got caught in the rundown, right? But there's a difference, like I said, of holding a player accountable, forgetting how many outs there were, right, during a game, and saying that a player has low baseball IQ. There's two different things there. But I just wanted to add, there's a poll we're going to put in the chat when we say, does Jason Dominguez get the start tonight? So you guys vote on the poll that we got put in the chat. It's a simple yes or no. Does Jason Dominguez get the start? And going back to Max Fried, just to piggyback real quick, Fireside Yankees put it out there. Max Fried, he has 4 games this season with 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs allowed this season, the most in Major League Baseball. So when it comes to Max Fried is having a phenomenal season. Max Fried, he is living up to the expectations when it comes to the contract that he signed this offseason, and he's doing all of this in the absence of Garrett Cole. I want that to live rent-free in everybody's head. He is doing this in the absence of Garrett Cole, and if the New York Yankees are expected to go far into the postseason, if the Yankees are trying to get back to the World Series, having a guy like Max Fried dominating in the fashion that he is dominating is how you do it. Grace, do you know the 2 losses that he has on his record? One of them was that horrible start that he had against the Dodgers. Another one was against, I think it was the last game of that Red Sox series that he got that loss. And then his third shaky start was against the Orioles when he only pitched 5 innings. Outside of just those 3 starts, Max Fried has been money. And I dare I say this, he has been one of the best off-season acquisitions, whether it's a starting pitcher or whether it's an offensive player. We love Garrett Cole. I'm not saying Max Fried is replacing Garrett Cole. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that when you compare Garrett Cole's first season with the sticky substance, he had the whole C-19 pandemic, having to deal with that, and the new rules of baseball, and seeing what Max Fried is doing right now with the pressure that is put on him, I think more people got to start putting respect on Max Fried's name. He is that guy.
I absolutely love him. I love his attitude. I love his energy. I love his leadership. I love everything about Max Fried. In addition to what he does on the mound, I mean, his defense, Hector, you saw him make that play yesterday where he dove, where he picked up the ball, dropped it, picked it up again, threw the ball, dove. I mean, he's so athletic. I mean, you know, he has a silver slugger. Like, did you know he has a silver slugger? Like, he can do everything. He can do it all. He's such an addition to the team. I absolutely love him. Great pickup in the offseason. Great pivot from Juan Soto. And at first, you know, everyone was concerned about the money. Now everybody across the board, virtually, in Yankees fandom, which is really, really hard to get us all to agree on one thing. But I think everyone is saying he's been worth the money. I mean, it is such a rare thing to have a big free agent signing that you then immediately say that was worth the money. That like never happens. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
Hold on. Crackle Nuts, what's good? He said, did you fight? No, I didn't. You was just wondering? No, I don't know what you're talking about, Crackle Nuts. Shout out to my guy Crackle Nuts, who is in the building. No, going back to Max Fried and going back to this Yankees starting rotation. The Yankees starting rotation, and it's a perfect segue to pivot before we talk about like Jazz Chisholm and Trent Grisham. Carlos Rodon. This is something I want to talk about, Grace. The day before, Carlos Rodon was taken out after 6 innings, dominating. He was dominating, right? 6 innings, 88 pitches. I want to ask you first before I give my take. Were you frustrated with them pulling Carlos Rodon? And were you frustrated with what Carlos Rodon said afterwards, that he was gassed and it was time to take him out?
You know what? I don't know how to feel about that because on one hand, you're like, they should have left him in. That was a mistake. And he had more to give. And he's hot, cry me a river, right? But on the other hand, you're like, well, I want Carlos Rodon to not be injured. That's what I want him to not. Because if he goes down, we're up a creek without a paddle. So you don't want him to get injured. And then again, I heard a rumor, and I don't know if this is true. I haven't confirmed this with any credible sources, so I don't know if this is true. I probably shouldn't even say it, but I heard that he was sick with the flu the night before. And then when he woke up that day, he thought he was okay to pitch. Then I also saw that Jonathan Loaizaga went out with flu-like symptoms when we all thought, oh my God, is he re-injured? What's going on? Remember when he came out of the game?
Yeah.
And then apparently they said that he had the flu. So there might be a flu going around the pitchers, maybe the bullpen. We don't know. If that's true, then that's going to color the way that I feel about that situation. But all of that aside, yeah, I mean, looking back or, in the moment, you're like, what's going on? Why is he out? Why didn't he leave? Boone never takes out a pitcher Boone never brings in the bullpen in a clean inning. It never happens. Yeah. So the fact that he didn't even go out to try to steal an out, not even one or two outs, was strange. So I think there's more going on backstage than we know. Maybe Hector, you're around the locker room, but I don't know.
I was going to say, well, if there's a flu going around, I'm glad that I took this weekend off. I'm not working. I decided not to work this weekend. The Yankee games against it's not because of the A's. It's just I've been working like crazy. I just needed a weekend to myself so I could recharge my battery after working Fanatics Fest, after working different Yankee games, Met games. So I just needed this weekend to myself. But I'll let you know. I'll text some of my colleagues that will be there.
Yeah.
When it comes to Rodon, on June 24th, I am not upset with Carlos Rodon telling Aaron Boone to take him out of a game when it's 100 degrees in Cincinnati. I'm not upset. I'm not upset with Carlos Rodon because you laid it out perfectly, Grace. We should be more worried, or we should care more about Carlos Rodon's health than a game in the middle of June. I understand we're struggling right now. I know we need to get these wins. I know you got to try to steal the wins when you're on the road. The Yankees have lost back-to-back series. I get that. I understand that. What I am saying is that what is more important for the New York Yankees run in the postseason? Carlos Rodon taking himself out of a game in the middle of June 24th, because he feels overheated because it's 100 degrees, or Carlos Rodon being healthy in October when it's not 100 degrees. I would have more concern if Carlos Rodon took him out of if he took himself out of a playoff game because he didn't feel how he had the energy. I'll be more worried about that instead of him taking himself out of a game in the middle of June or at the end of June, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and something else I want to add to what you're saying is by now we know who Carlos Rodon is. Mm-hmm. He is not the one to be like, I want to come out. That is not Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon pitches in the snow. He pitches in the rain. He never wants to come out of the game. He never wants to say uncle, right? And give up. And he fights and he yells. And even when Matt Blake came out to talk to him once, he turned his back on this guy. This guy is a dog. He doesn't want to come out. So when he does come to you and say, I think I'm done, I need to come out, it's like me. I never go to the doctor. I hate the doctor. I never go to the doctor. If I'm sick, I just tough through it. I don't know. And if I come to my husband and I'm like, I think I need to go to the doctor, he's like, load up the car. We're going right now. Ambulance sirens. Grace says she needs to go to the doctor. That means it's bad. You know what I mean? So when you have that reputation with your staff and your managers and everybody, and they know you never want to come out of the game, and then you actually say, hey, look, I need to come out of the game. I think I'm done. That word is your bond. And that is if Carlos says he's ready, he's ready.
He's ready.
So it's a matter of trust. Yeah, it's a trust that's built between the pitching crew and the staff. And if he executed that, then that means he was done. So, that's kind of a point I wanted to make there.
Grace, I am right there with you. Like I said, I am more focused on the games in October than Carlos Rodon taking himself out of a game at the end of June, because he's hot. It's 100 degrees. He already pitched 6 innings. It's not Carlos Rodon's fault that Jonathan Loaisiga comes in and ties and gives up the tying runs. It's not Carlos Rodon's fault that the New York Yankees cannot come through in timely matters with runners in scoring position and extra innings, because the Yankees had opportunities this entire series. They started off game 1 going 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Game 2, they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You're not going to win many baseball games, let alone many series. It doesn't matter who your opponent is if that's the stats that you have with runners in scoring position, with runners on second and third, with runners on base that you're stranding and you can't score a run. The Yankees have been putting up donuts. The New York Yankees, they need to be sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, not because of how good the donuts are, because of the donuts they are laying on the box score every night when they go out there and they want donuts.
Hector, you crack me up. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it's been so frustrating. I didn't even want to go back and count how many runners we stranded on base. I did make notes last night of how many we stranded, but over the last little bit, oh my God, it would have been so depressing. I'm actually glad. Even though we won last night and I'm feeling better, I'm actually glad that we have tonight off. And I never say that. I'm always like, for real, you know that, Heck. I never say that. I'm always like, what am I supposed to do tonight? I'm actually glad. I need a little mental break. I know the guys are tired. Was it 16 games in a row? 16 days in a row? I mean, that is a long time. They've traveled. They've come home. They've traveled again. They went on a losing streak. They're frustrated. They're tired. Last night in Cincinnati, they've been hot. And it's just, we need a day off. We need a little reset. And I do too as a fan. Like, it's so, whew.
So we need to take a mental reset, right? Yankee fans, collectively, woosah as we continue the conversation. Big time Jerry Cadill says, many opportunities, Hector, very inconsistent. Absolutely. Theo Nosebleed says, heck, you need to make it to October 1st. And yeah, that's why with the Yankees being in first place in the American League East, I am okay with Carlos Rodon putting himself out of a game in the middle of June. If the Yankees were in third place and at the end of June, it's a different conversation, Nosebleed. But when you're in first place at the end of June, I can live with that when it comes to Carlos Rodon. But I see what you're saying. Anna Marie says, left on base and runners in scoring position is bad. You got to score. Absolutely. Guys, make sure you guys go to latinosports.com. I put out an article after Monday's loss when talking about the New York Yankees and their lack of hitting with runners in scoring position. So please check that out. It's one of my first articles that I ever written about the Yankees. So por favor. Moving on, Grace, we got to talk about Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah.
Because the day before, Jazz Chisholm was ejected out of the game by the umpire. I'll let you lead the conversation. Go ahead. I'll go look for the video so we could show it on the screen. Go ahead, Grace.
Jazz. In fact, why don't you go ahead and send me to the hot corner then, Hector?
Oh, if we're going to the hot corner?
Yeah, we are.
Guys, we are going to the hot corner.
Thank you so much, Hector. This is Grace Monroe reporting live from the hot corner regarding the New York Yankees and their recent struggles with the umpire crew. Regarding the umps, I swear to God, when Jazz got ejected, right before he got ejected, he was talking to the umps, okay? It was a bad call. It was a low ball that they called a strike. It changed the rest of the entire at-bat. He was then forced to foul off these low pitches, and then when he did get a strike when he got a ball to hit, he couldn't reach it. It lowered his eye level. He couldn't raise his eye. You know what I mean? Like, the pitcher got him. The pitcher got him and capitalized off of a bad strike call, okay? He let the umpire know. Did he get in the umpire's face? Did he get aggressive? Did he scream? Did he throw his bat? No, he didn't. He just let him know that how he felt about that bad call, how it ruined the at-bat, and he kind of chirped a little bit. The umpire did not eject him. And I was sitting on my couch, and for the first time in a long time, I actually thought, you know what? Good on that umpire. I respect that. I respect that the umpire did not throw Jazz out. He let him talk, and the umpire stood on his own business and said, nope, it was a strike, even though it wasn't. Okay, it wasn't a strike. But the umpire said, nope, I called it a strike. It's a strike. You can go ahead and talk, but go sit down. And kept calm, kept it 100. And I was writing this tweet out, and I was like, I really respect the umpire for not ejecting Jazz Chisholm Jr. there and letting him talk and not being soft as Charmin Ultra Soft, okay? But actually just earning some respect. And then by the time I was about to hit send on this tweet, I look up and the commercial break is over and Jazz Chisholm's been ejected. And they're showing the replay of what had happened during the commercial break when Jazz was chirping and then the umpire ejected him when he was out at third. He was about to start playing D. And I'm like, what happened? Delete my tweet. I can't even respect these guys for 5 minutes. They are so soft. It is absolutely ridiculous. And they're never held accountable. The players are, but the umpires are never held accountable, and they are allowed to be soft as Charmin Ultra Soft out there when they won't even allow a player to speak or be frustrated or show that they're frustrated. That's okay. That should not be against the rules to show that you're frustrated with a bad call, okay? Now, there's a line, okay? There has to be a line. But in my opinion, they don't even let them get to the line anymore. They just eject them. They just throw them out because of their ego. It has to stop.
We're going to start asking questions. What is more softer, the tissue, the baby tissue that the umpires are, or the cupcakes that Aaron Boone gives the team after every loss? We got to ask, what is softer, the cupcakes or the toilet paper, right? Going back to the poll that we put out, I just ended the poll right now. 24 votes, 75% of the people say Jason Dominguez will get the start tonight. So, mark it in your books. Go out there, put some money on it. Hopefully, Jason Dominguez gets the vote tonight. But no, I got to agree with you when it comes to the umpires. This is Jazz Chisholm getting ejected. We know Jose Trevino. Like yesterday, we found out like Trevino was trolling, and I'll play both videos. But this is the first one of Jazz getting ejected.
Well, Jazz Chisholm just got thrown out, and really he has nobody to blame but himself. I know he didn't like the call, but he has been chirping at Wegner. Aaron Judge, between innings, walked him out to the field to try to calm him down, and he would not stop screaming at Wegner about that 2-0 pitch. And you always tell me, Paul, heat of the moment, but this is far after the heat of the moment. He got himself thrown out, then Wegner gave him a lot of leash.
He did, but you get so frustrated as a player in this one event, and you're.
Nah, if I'm Jazz, I'm pissed off. Like, he didn't do anything. What are you looking at me for?
I was watching him between innings at third base, just kept repeating him. The Yankees will have to bring in DJ LeMahieu to play second, and they'll have to move Peraza over to play third, and they lost Jazz's bat. And if he's going to keep going, he's going to get suspended too.
Now, in that moment, did Jazz's ejection hurt the Yankees and Aaron Boone when it came to their lineup and their infield defense? Yeah, it did. Do I understand where Jazz is coming from? 100%. Am I blaming Jazz for that? No. And the reason why is because Jose Trevino was a douchebag. And this is why.
He's barking at third, kind of talking to himself, and Trevino tells the umpire, look, and then Wegner throws him out. Then we know what happened after that. Trevino's kind of got a grin on his face.
And then when Jazz hit the home run,
Chisholm goes yard. And he goes, I got you back.
So as long as they were able to make light of the situation, to make it a joking matter as well, I think we could walk away with this series as a good one, right? Again, I don't blame Jazz for his ejection and the frustrations with the umpires, because we've all been frustrated with the umpires this entire season. We need the ABS system ASAP. Keith McPherson was on WFAN saying ABS ASAP, and I 100% agree with him. We need that system implemented sooner rather than later. Don't wait till next year, Rob Manfred. Do not wait till next year. Implement it for the postseason this year. I don't care what the naysayers will say.
I mean, do you want a player that plays with his heart and with passion? Because if you do, this is what it is. This is what it looks like. Jazz was not wrong. He was right. That pitch was a ball. And he's frustrated because he's out there. He's trying to make something happen for his team. He cares. He cares so much. And he wears it. And that's part of having a passionate player. So if you want a passionate player, you get the whole thing. Now, people condemn Aaron Judge for being boring, for being constant, for being, well, you know, having the same rhetoric after every single game, even if they're going through a slump or even if they're hot as anything else, right? That is not Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm is not the Captain America, you know, calculated, thoughtful, you know, calm guy. That's Aaron Judge, okay? That's Aaron Judge. Jazz Chisholm is more wild, more chaotic, more of a, like an Iron Man type, if we're bringing in Avengers, like more passionate, more heartfelt, more heart-led, right? I personally love it. I would extend Jazz Chisholm today, right now, because what he brings to the team with his intangibles is so huge, and we need it. We need it. We have players like Aaron Judge who never get mad, who never let it show, who never overflow with emotion. We have players like Paul Goldschmidt. We have players like DJ LeMahieu. These guys, they don't let it get to them, right? They're the constant. But I need players like Jazz Chisholm Jr. who go out there, give it their all, and I like to see it. It's entertaining. It's a contributing factor to the overall energy of the team, and this is what comes with it. Sometimes they get ejected and you miss them for the extra innings or the rest of the game. And you think, man, we really could use Jazz Chisholm right now. But you know what? Over the course of the entire season, I would take the passion with a couple times of him getting ejected over him being watered down to something that he's not.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. When it comes to Jazz Chisholm, this is what energy looks like. And something that the New York Yankees have been lacking before Jazz Chisholm got here was energy, was flair. And this is what Jazz Chisholm brings to the game. Now, do you want to critique him on certain situations he should act differently? Copy. You can have that conversation with him. But Jazz Chisholm, the player that he is, the one concern that I had when he came over to the Bronx, when he came over to the New York Yankees, was, are the Yankees going to try to neuter Jazz Chisholm? Are the Yankees going to try to bring down Jazz Chisholm and not let him be himself, not let him be the player that all these young kids like? And one thing that the New York Yankees have been constant since he came over, they have embraced Jazz Chisholm. They have embraced the type of player he is, to the point they are miking up Jazz Chisholm before the game so the Yankees social media team can catch him rapping and dropping bars on the field before the game, and the Yankees are promoting that. So I love the Jazz Chisholm experience, everything that's been going on ever since he arrived here in the Bronx. Jazz Chisholm has been one of my favorite players over the past couple of years just because of the energy that he brings. But segueing, because we talked about Jason Dominguez and the 4 hits, we'll get to the chat momentarily, right? But we got to talk about Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham, he had 4 hits in one game, a career high for Mr. Trent Grisham as well. And it's been a battle back and forth of who's going to be in the lineup, Trent Grisham or Jason Dominguez. And now 75% of y'all voted that Jason Dominguez will be in the lineup tonight. Let's see what happens. When it comes to Trent Grisham, Grace, how do we measure him? I honestly do not know what Trent Grisham is, because when you look at his numbers, 251, 15 home runs, 32 RBIs with an 831 OPS, those are solid numbers for a guy that plays Gold Glove defense in center field. Grace, the floor is yours. Folks in the chat, let us know about Mr. Trent Grisham. Mark Gates, I'll get to your question momentarily. Go ahead, Grace.
This is a tough one. I really like Trent Grisham, obviously.
Mhm.
He's been great this season, and he's been dependable in the outfield, and he brings a lot of value. And he's got experience. He's not I wouldn't say he's like an older player, but he's got experience in the league. And oh man, it's so tough because it's so I was thinking about this all morning because I almost did a Jason Dominguez hot corner today, and I thought maybe I should go off on how he needs to play. Listen, I do think Jason needs to play every day. Here's what it boils down to, all right? Trent Grisham was signed to our team on a 1-year deal to be a bench player, to come off the bench and be a fourth outfielder, late inning defensive replacement, to give the team depth. That was the intention, okay? Now, he's hit really, really well.
Extremely well.
He's hit extremely well, and he's contributed a lot. But, that's what a depth piece is supposed to do. You're not supposed to, I mean, listen, ideally your depth pieces don't suck, okay? So just because he's playing really, really well, that doesn't mean that he should edge out the future of your franchise for playing time, okay? So I hear you. I see you can make an argument for another way, right? And Hector, you might make that argument in a second, you know? But, and I get it. I see that point of view as well, right? Jason Dominguez is batting almost, if not the same as Trent Grisham. His on-base percentage is really, pull up Jason's, can we pull up Jason's numbers and Trent's numbers? The thing is,
simultaneously, but yeah, I'll look them up.
The thing is, Jason Dominguez is the future of your team. Trent Grisham is on a 1-year contract, okay? At the end of the season, you're going to have to make a decision, and I don't think the decision is, I mean, it's tough to say right now, but most likely they are not going to bring Trent Grisham back. We've got outfielders coming up from the minor leagues. We have Jason Dominguez, who is going to cost a lot less than Trent Grisham in a free agent year after having a great season. They're giving all these at-bats to a guy that is here for 1 year. Now, I get it. You want to win the game tonight. You want to be in first place. You want to go to the postseason, and you want to ultimately win the World Series, and I do too, okay? But at the same time, these at-bats are so valuable, they need to be given to Trent Grisham. So, I mean, to Jason Dominguez. So you got to sit somebody. Are you going to sit Cody Bellinger, who's an MVP, Rookie of the Year, Gold Glover, maybe the best defender on the whole team? Or are you going to sit Trent Grisham? You know what I mean? Like, these are your choices. You're not sitting Judge. So, I don't know. It's a tough spot. But did you get the numbers?
Yeah, when you look at Jason Dominguez, I'm going to bring up his stats first, right? Jason Dominguez on the season, I'm going to zoom in so everybody can see it a lot better. Jason Dominguez, in 217 at-bats, he has a 253 batting average, 6 home runs, 27 RBI, 16 stolen bases, was only caught twice, 34 runs, 341 on base percentage, and a 737 OPS. When you look at Trent Grisham, I'll bring that up right now. Trent Grisham, more at-bats than Jason Dominguez so far this season. Trent Grisham, 235, basically like 20 to 30 more, 20 more at-bats, 38 runs, 251 batting average, 15 home runs, 32 RBIs, a 351 on base percentage, and an 832 OPS. When it comes to the on-base,
this is Trent?
Yeah, this is Trent Grisham.
Okay, thanks.
351. Trent Grisham, 351.
Okay. So his average is same.
Yeah.
His OBP is the same, but he has got a higher slug. That's the difference. That's what we're looking at here. Looks to me like, just from looking at these numbers real quick, Trent Grisham has a much higher slug. That's what's giving him the higher OPS.
He has a 15 home runs to Jason Dominguez 6 home runs, right? So that's the big difference maker. And I understand your point about Jason Dominguez being the future of our team. He is the future of our team, right? But Jace, to start the season, that hot start that Trent Grisham got off to is one of the reasons why Trent Grisham is still in the lineup to this point right now of the season. Yes, he's hitting 250. Yes, he has the home runs. And if you're Aaron Boone, you reward who's playing good in the moment. Both Jason Dominguez and Trent Grisham both had 4-hit games yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see what does he do tonight when he's constructing that lineup. We've seen Paul Goldschmidt start coming back down to earth. I know Ben Rice, he had a home run in the series, but Ben Rice started coming back down as well. He went through a cold spell. This is the perfect time for Aaron Boone to slide Cody Bellinger from the outfield to first base, to have Jason Dominguez be in left field and have Trent Grisham in center field, just to give Paul Goldschmidt some rest, just to give Ben Rice some rest. You will still have Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt as late inning options if you have to pinch hit for somebody.
Woo! Hot take by Hector.
I'm just saying, because if you have to pinch hit for somebody and you have to move pieces around, then you could take a late inning defensive substitution of moving Cody Bellinger from first base, moving him to the outfield, and taking Jason Dominguez out of the game when you're in the 7th or 8th inning. If you have to pinch hit for Paul Goldschmidt or Ben Rice, to use them as options late in the game if you're pitch hitting for either DJ LeMahieu or whoever else.
Do you know what I actually think they should do? As far as kind of like piggybacking on what you're saying, but kind of going the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I think that JC Escara should be the starting catcher, and Wells needs to take a back seat, and Ben Rice needs to have more reps at catcher. That's what I think. I know JC Escara is on paternity leave, and I'm really, really happy for him and his family. Take your time, enjoy.
To my guy, JC. I sent him a message yesterday. Congratulations to my guy, JC.
Absolutely. But I think that Ben Rice needs to be at least given a longer look there at catcher, because Austin Wells right now is not it. I'm sorry. I am really, really, really off the Austin Wells train right now.
Really?
I'm sorry. I am. I really am, Hector. His at bats he looks so lost to me. When he runs into one, he can kind of when he gets the barrel on it, he can have success. But that's true of any hitter, anytime, anywhere, right? I mean, he's behind the ball, he's swinging. Y'all, his at-bats are uglier than Volpe's to me. Uglier than Anthony Volpe's. I said what I said. I'm telling y'all, Austin is I don't know what's going on with him. But for me, when we have an asset like JC Escara sitting on the bench, that if you're saying the better player needs to play, then why is Austin Wells getting starts over JC Escara? Because go ahead.
I was going to say, I agree with you 100%. And something that the Yankees can do when it comes to holding up a mirror, not even holding up a mirror, all they got to do is get some binoculars, right? Look over into Queens and see what the New York Mets did. What did the New York Mets did with Francisco Alvarez? What did they do?
I heard they sent him down.
They sent him down to the minors because he was struggling offensively and defensively. Mm-hmm. And having Luis Torrens, who was a former Yankee in the Yankee system, be with the Mets as their starting everyday catcher who's producing, driving in runs, being a great defender behind the plate, someone who could call games. And the New York Yankees did the same thing with Carlos Tavares. You know, he's in Boston right now doing the same thing. But the Mets were able to take Francisco Alvarez, send him down so he can focus and work on what he has to work on. Why can't the Yankees do the same thing when you have JC Escara who could take over, and you do have a backup catcher in Ben Rice? Now that frees you up to bring somebody else up. I don't know. Maybe the Yankees go out there and bring Pablo Reyes back. I have no idea. But there's options that you have with Austin Wells just so he can, one, get a breath of fresh air, relax his mental, and get back to doing what we know he could do, and that's mash the baseball. He just needs a little confidence booster. He just need to work on some things so he could just go down to AAA and just work on that before coming back up. Because we got JC, somebody we got a super chat I want to bring up real quick. My man Caleb Vasquez is in the building with a $10 super chat who says, yo, who's pulling up tomorrow to say what up to me and Hector? Be sure to join our 2 tickets. Be sure to join for 2 tickets to tomorrow's game for fireworks night on Instagram. Winners will be announced at 7 p.m. tonight. Guys, go out there on Instagram. Go to NYC underscore C Money, well, NYC underscore money 301. My man Caleb Vasquez. Go out there on Instagram. Go to Instagram. Enter into the giveaway to enter your chance. We got 2 tickets we're giving away for fireworks night for tomorrow's game at Yankee Stadium. If you're in the tri-state area, if you want to pull up, go to Instagram to enter the contest. I appreciate you, Caleb Vasquez. Go ahead, Grace.
Austin Wells' on-base percentage is absolutely abhorrent as well. And his, let me say, sorry, I'm back on the Austin Wells thing. Austin Wells is 6 and 36 over his last 41 at-bats. In the last 11 games, he's batting 120. It's
bad.
I know JC was supposed to get the start last night and his wife went into labor. I get it. But I like that. Keep giving JC some starts. Let Ben get some starts back there. We got to keep Ben's bat in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, even when he's not producing, he's giving you hard contact. I mean, and that's what you want, right? So, I mean, I think he is coming back around after his little cold snap. I think Trent Grisham's heating back up too. Obviously Jason Dominguez is heating up from the right side, so now he's got left and right. I wouldn't give up on Paul Goldschmidt. DJ has low-key been producing. We're not even complaining about DJ, Hector. We're not even complaining about DJ. We're over here complaining about all these other people. DJ's flying under the radar. Nobody's mad at him.
I think DJ LeMahieu went a whole week. I'm going to put up this super chat so you guys could have the Instagram account for NYC underscore money 301. DJ LeMahieu went a whole week without Yankee fans coming for him because he, like you said, Grace, he has been producing. And when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, 1 week, he has a phenomenal week. Another week, he's off. Yankee fans are killing him on the timeline. Another week, he turns back to DJ LeMahieu, La Máquina. Another week, he disappears. So when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, you got to like the effort. You got to like the fact that he's still going out there and still trying to fight for a job at the major league level. And he's producing. And he's coming through. It's everybody else that's floundering right now, right? Anthony Volpe, his defense over the past week was very questionable, right? And then he had a game where he went 3 for 3 and had a home run. So this team, we're in a rut right now. That's one thing us Yankee fans, we could all collectively agree. We are in a rut right now, right? It's 162 games. No team in baseball history has gone 162-0. No team in baseball history has won every series that they play. That has never happened. Not even the 98 Yankees. The 98 Yankees, the 27 Yankees. Nobody has ever done that, right? So you're going to have times during the season where you have these hiccups, where you have these dry spells. And that's what the New York Yankees went through. It was good to see yesterday, Grace, that the Yankees were able to score 7 runs. And the big factor or the big reason why wasn't Aaron Judge. And that is something us Yankee fans have been asking for. We need guys to step up when Aaron Judge is not hitting. We've seen Aaron Judge batting average drop about 50 batting points from the end of May till now. We expected this was going to happen. We didn't think it was going to happen like this, but we knew it was going to happen. And when that did happen, we needed everybody else to step up. Last night they did it. They need to do it more consistently, Grace.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You got to have more than Aaron Judge for sure. And Aaron Judge is a lot, but you got to have more than Aaron Judge. Let me see here. I think Judge, he hit an RBI double last night in the 6th inning. Mm-hmm. So that was great to see. Obviously, we're all going to have, memories of him striking out in the 9th with bases juiced a couple nights ago. But, hey, he had an RBI double and scored
Did he strike out? I thought he popped out.
Oh, sorry. He could have popped out.
Yeah.
I should have said he didn't come through.
No.
He popped out. I think it was in the infield. Yeah. I got here that Judge has the most RBIs in close late inning games in the MLB.
Yeah, since 2017, Aaron Judge, and the seventh inning or later, he has 48, if I'm not mistaken, 48 plate appearances as representing the tying or go ahead run. That has been Aaron Judge the most in Major League Baseball.
59, yes.
59.
He's batting 356 with 3 home runs, 29 RBIs, and he's 1.0666 OPS in that situation that you were talking about. 59 at-bats with runners in scoring position in late inning games as he's representing the tie or the go-ahead run. And that's the most, like you said, in the MLB since 2017. It doesn't feel like that.
No.
It doesn't feel like that. I wonder if it doesn't feel like that to us because we expect so much out of him. We have become accustomed to this level of production, which again is the best in Major League Baseball over this span. And we have taken that for granted and we expect even more. It's like, I don't know if that's what it is, but it doesn't feel like that, does it?
I would say for Yankee fans, again, correct me if I'm wrong, folks in the chat, you can let me know. Eddie Snap says, DJ is no longer a second base gold glover. Sadly, he needs to switch with Jazz. I don't disagree with you whatsoever. Shout out to my guy, Eddie Snap. Shout out to LI Yankee King in the building as well. Jason Custodio says, we have diverted our attention to Volpe. I talk about DJ LeMahieu. Shout out to Jason in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Folks, we got over 80 people in the building watching us collectively, over 35 people on YouTube. Hit that like button on YouTube. We're sitting at 19 likes. Let's try to get to 30 likes on the stream. Share the live as well. Interact with the emojis. It helps us out when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. Again, follow us on all social media platforms. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. If you have a Twitch account, follow us on Twitch. Follow me on TikTok. I will be going live tomorrow for the Yankee game. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok so you could be along for the watch party or watch along that we do over on the TikTok. But coming back here, Grace, when it comes to Judge, I think most Yankee fans, the measurement they have for Judge is the postseason. They measure Judge on what he has done in the postseason more than the regular season. And in the postseason, Aaron Judge, there's been one thing about Judge. He has been inconsistent. I think Aaron Judge for his career in the postseason is hitting 220 or below 230, if I'm not mistaken. And if there's one thing that he needs to have a legendary postseason run, a la A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez in 2009, in order to get the Yankee haters and the naysayers for Aaron Judge off of his back.
I cannot disagree. I remember there was some stat that nobody struck out more than Aaron Judge in the postseason or something crazy like that. I can't remember. I have it in my notes. I can look it up in a second. But, I mean, I don't judge him like that. I can't speak for everybody else, but I don't judge him like that. Let me tell you why, Hector. The postseason is only 3 weeks of my life, okay? I sit my ass down on the couch and I watch the Yankees every fucking day of the year, 162 times. I spend my evenings watching the New York Yankees 162 nights a year in before the postseason even starts. Postseason is fun, don't get me wrong. It matters to me. I want to win the World Series more than anything. I am there with you guys. But more than half of the year of my life is spent. Actually, I'm really bad at math. Is it more than half of the year? It feels like more than half the year of my life is spent in front of the TV watching Aaron Judge be unbelievable. And I appreciate that. That matters to me, okay? I can't speak for everybody, but it matters to me. And listen, the postseason is important. I believe he will come around in the postseason. I do. I have not lost faith in Aaron Judge in the postseason. But until he does, I still think he's amazing and I respect him and I appreciate everything that he does.
I have one thing I want to show you. Shout out to Alex Campos, my girlfriend, love her. Aaron Judge, a 205 batting average with 45 hits, 16 home runs, 34 RBIs, 37 runs scored in 58 games in the postseason for his career. Again, a 205 batting average. And that's why Yankee fans hold Aaron Judge to a certain standard and criticize him when it comes to his postseason or the lack of success for Aaron Judge in the postseason. 205 batting average right here on the screen, y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking in my notes here to see if I can find the stat that I'm talking about.
And that's one thing that last year we saw in the postseason. It wasn't until Game 5 of the World Series where Aaron Judge came through and led off the game with a home run in that first inning.
I found it. It's Judge has the lowest batting average of anyone in history of Major League Baseball with 200 plate appearances in the postseason. Excuse me. That was the stat that I knew I had something in my notes about that. It's not strikeouts. It's the lowest batting average of anyone with 200 plate appearances in the postseason in Major League Baseball history.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has a 195 career batting average. This is according to StatMuse.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I've not lost faith in Judge. I really haven't.
Aaron Judge, he has the third lowest. Reggie Sanders has the first. Will Smith has the second. Aaron Judge has the third.
Well, it's a minimum of 200 plate appearances. That's the caveat.
Yeah, they hold on, wait, let me bring it up on the screen so you can see. Yeah, they hold on. Share this tap instead. Yeah. Reggie Sanders 221 at bats, 195. Will Smith 210. Aaron Judge 220 with a 205. I think what it could be is in this this century.
What I think in the live ball era or whatever.
Yeah. This century, because Reggie Sanders. Well, even though Reggie Sanders played in the 2000s, I don't know, but yeah, it's bad regardless.
I could have written this down in my notes, maybe like during the division series or something. Right. So he had some more at bats to add. So it could have been something like that. Because I didn't write the date that I wrote down the note. I wrote it during last season's postseason.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Regardless, it's bad.
Yeah.
If it's 1, 2, he's in the top 3 lowest batting averages. Point blank. Period. Right. It's bad.
Yeah, but only way to go is up. We're gonna be, positive. The only way to go is up, and I believe that this team has much more of a chance for Aaron Judge to improve his batting average in the postseason, because there are more offensive weapons other than just Juan Soto last year. It was Juan Soto and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. This year, we got a lot more tools, a lot more weapons, a lot more quality at bats that pitchers will have to navigate through than we had last year. So we got to get there, though.
I was going to say, Grace, because it's like I took it off of the screen, but I looked at it on my tab, and it's like, there was a name on the list that I didn't want to see that name on the list. And I don't think we looked at it because it was literally 2 places behind Judge. I'm going to go back to it. Look at who's sitting at 5.
Oh,
Cody
Jesus
Bellinger.
Christ, in a basket.
Cody Bellinger is sitting at 5.
Oh, no! Oh, no! Get off the screen! Get it off the screen!
Cody Bellinger
oh, God! Sound the alarm. Sound the submarine alarm, Hector. Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, no! This is taking a turn. Well, I think, God, I'm trying to spin it. I'm trying so hard. Cody Bellinger is a World Series champion. There you go. That's the spin.
He's a World Series. He is a World Series champion. He did win a World Series. One player that I don't think Yankee fans are excited to come back or are excited to come back is Marcus Stroman. This is a nice segue. Marcus Stroman and his first rehab start or his last rehab start in Double-A, he pitched 3 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and 65 pitches thrown. This was expected to be his last outing before rejoining the Yankees rotation. Grace, what's your thoughts about Mr. Marcus Stroman?
Hector, why you have to put me on the spot like this?
Sorry.
Y'all, I like Marcus Stroman a lot as a human, as a person, as a father, as a teammate. I hate to say anything disparaging, but this is not okay. This is all 3 of his rehab starts, if you look up the stats, have been bad. He has given up, I don't know, I want to say like 17 hits or something in 3 games. This is off the top of my head. What?
I said something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't pitched more than 4 innings at all in any of his rehab starts. I mean, it might be time for Marcus Stroman to retire.
When it comes to Stroman,
sorry, but this isn't valuable to our team. Not even in the bullpen. This is.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. When it comes to Marcus Stroman, right now, doesn't matter what team you have. No team in Major League Baseball can ever say pitching is too much. Every team can welcome in extra pitching, whether it's a starting pitcher, whether it's a reliever, whether it's somebody who could pencil in at the back of the rotation, or whether it's somebody who could emerge as a surprising ace or number 2 or number 3 in the rotation, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's what Marcus Stroman is going to do, but Marcus Stroman is going to come and give the Yankees valuable innings that they need, whether it's as a starter or whether it's out of the bullpen as a reliever. I like to believe that Marcus Stroman, now that Ryan Yarbrough is on the IL, Marcus Stroman will be the 5th starter, right? And I think Marcus Stroman can give us better innings than that whining kid or that whining guy who pitched, a veteran pitcher who bounced back and forth between different teams, if I'm not mistaken, a guy that he could even go two times through a lineup before getting knocked around, right? Again, will Marcus Stroman pitch like he pitched at the end of the season last year or at the beginning of the season? That's the question that we have. And again, you can never say no to welcoming pitching. I don't care who it is, except for Trevor Bauer, who's will never pitch in Major League Baseball again.
I am going to say I respect your opinion, Hector. I just disagree. We're having a rare disagreement. I don't think Marcus Stroman brings any pitching value to the team at this point.
Better than Winan. That's what I'm saying.
I don't agree. I'd rather have Winans than Marcus Stroman. I know that's crazy because I hate saying this. I like Marcus Stroman. I don't want to be up here. I don't want to be up here talking shit about him, but I think he's done. I think that if you lined up Winans or Stroman against a good lineup, they would both get hit. But I would take Winans. I'm not kidding. Like I don't know. Am I crazy? Chat. Am I off my rocker here? I'd rather have them call up what's his name? Beater, whatever. What's his name in AAA? I'd rather do that than Marcus. I think Marcus Stroman is cooked. I'm sorry. I hate saying this because I didn't want it to be this way. I didn't. But this is extremely concerning to me. Against AA hitters, Hector, I don't know. I think it's over. I don't know. I hate saying this.
Why are you like this?
I'm
sorry. No, again, nobody is ever going to agree 100% on everything. So you and I having this healthy disagreement when it comes to this topic, I think that's a solid discourse to have. Like I said, when it comes to Marcus Stroman, I definitely believe somebody who has been an all-star in his career, somebody who has pitched valuable innings in his career can give us better innings than Winan can give us. Somebody who can't even make it through one time through a major league lineup. Yes, are there concerns that he struggled against some AA hitting? 100%. I'm not going to say that there is no concerns about that, right? But sometimes when you're down there in AA, you're just trying to get your control underneath you. And that's what I think Marcus Stroman was doing. When you look at his last start, right? 3 2/3, 10 hits, right? 10 hits, 5 runs. Nobody is going to say that is a good start. One thing that you could say is that he only walked 2 batters in 3 innings. He's just trying to get his control. And if he comes up to the major league level and if he makes a start and he gives up 10 runs in 1 inning, you know what I got to say about that, Grace?
Oh my God.
That's it.
65 pitches in 3 innings is, yeah, I listen.
Look, like Anna said,
I like Marcus
hope
Stroman.
Joe surprises all of us.
Well,
and
me
more.
too.
Wow.
Me too, but I don't have a good feeling about it. I'm just saying, and that's opposite of how I usually am. I'm one of these people out there in the streets defending Marcus Stroman, but I think it's over. I really do. I don't know, maybe it's just a feeling, but I don't know. I heard Yarborough's not going to be on the IL for too long, though.
Because they activated him, like it was a retro.
Would you rather have Yarbrough or Stroman?
I have Yarborough. No doubt about it. Like I think it sets it up perfectly that if when Stroman and Yarborough are both available, both healthy, you could split them up. You could have Marcus Stroman starting the game or Yarborough starting the game, depending on the lineup, and have the other one piggyback off of the other one to save the bullpen. So say like for instance, right, if it's a lineup that they don't hit well against left-handed pitching, you start Ryan Yarborough for the first 4 innings, and then you bring in Marcus Stroman for the next 3 innings to bridge the gap to the 7th or 8th inning. That's what you do to save your bullpen if you're Aaron Boone.
So you make one of them kind of a long reliever type role.
Yeah, and again, and depends on what are the matchups against that team that they're facing up. If it's a team that destroys left-handed pitching, then you start Marcus Stroman. If it's a team that destroys right-handed pitching, then you start Ryan Yarborough as the starter, and then you bring in the other one just to piggyback them, just to save 2 or 3 innings for the bullpen.
I don't know. I've lost confidence in Marcus Stroman. I love him as a teammate. I love him being on the squad. I love all that stuff. But I'm talking just about on the mound, being able to get outs. I don't think Marcus Stroman can do it anymore. I think
we're gonna have to wait and see. He has a start next week. We have to wait and see, and we'll come back for this conversation when he makes that start. So it's Thursday right now. He made his last start Wednesday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday we should be pre-gaming his start that night. So he'll probably start next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. So by next week, Thursday's show, we'll be able to come back and have him. We'll be able to come back and have more. We'll be able to digest his start, break it down, give our analysis, and have a better thought.
Who are we playing then? Do you know?
Let's see. Let's look at the schedule. 1 second.
I'm sorry, y'all. The chat is like, Grace broke up with Stroman. And Cracklenut says, Grace, nope, I'd rather Stroman. I get it. I hear y'all. I see where you're coming from. I really, really do.
It'll be either the Blue Jays or the Phillies he'll be starting against.
Blue Jays or the Phillies. Oh,
yeah.
God. Okay. Well.
Yeah. I'd rather have Cam Schlittler than Marcus Stroman.
Cam Schlittler. That's who I was thinking of, not Beater. Yeah.
How do you say his last name? Schlittler?
I think it's Schlittler.
Schlittler?
Yes. Great job. That's kind of a hard name.
Cam
Schlittler.
S. Cam, I feel bad. As somebody who has a fucked up last name, right? As somebody whose last name, I was the butt of a lot of jokes growing up in junior high school. I had to get into a lot of fights. I feel bad for Cam. So his name is Cammy S. That's his name, Cam S. All right, that's what we're gonna call him. I'd rather have him than both Winans and Marcus Stroman. But if you ask me who would I rather have, Winans or Stroman, I'm taking Stroman all the time. Winans, like I said, wasn't able to get through one time through a lineup. He got lit up. He was walking guys. He couldn't control the strike zone. The moment was too big for him, and he was pitching in Cincinnati. Yeah. Imagine him pitching in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it's just you look at, I don't know. I don't know. I've said what I need to say. I hope I'm wrong because I like Marcus Stroman. I don't want it to end like this. When you watch the athletes at the end of their career, it's so sad. It's so heartbreaking. You know, they never want to go out. You never want them to go out. I just think that we're at the end here, and it sucks.
When you look at which is put in the chat, my guy says Winan was great the first time through. Could be a great long reliever. That's a solid option as a long reliever. I'll take him as a long reliever. But as a starting pitcher, I don't think he has it underneath his belt to get major league hitters out. It's not like he was dominating down there in the minors. He wasn't dominating down there in the minors if you look at his stat. But this is a conversation that we can keep going back and forth with. I want to segue over into the next topic. Grace, you got one more last thing to drop on it?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to segue. Like I said, I did an interview yesterday with Ronald Acuna Jr. at Citi Field. I apologize for the quality of the video. The iPhone that I was recording on, it was a bad recording, but the audio is there. So we're going to watch it, and we'll be right back. Let me just bring it up to the stage. Hold on, give me 1 second, because for some reason, there it is. Everybody, we are here con Ronald Acuna Jr. This is your guy, Hector Boche, with Latino Sports, and we are presenting to Ronald Acuna the 2023 Latino Sports MVP Award for the National League. James is the painter. He has a picture right there, so we can present it first. Ronald, this is one of the most prestigious and long-lasting awards we have given to Latino baseball players in Major League Baseball. This is something different. Growing up, you got awards, you got trophies, but this is something that you puedes traer para la casa de tu mamá, de tu abuela. So, Ronald, just want to ask you, the past few years, you've been dealing with some injuries, trying to work your way back to the field. Usted es Latino como nosotros. Can you just speak on the spirit when it comes to us Latinos, when it comes to hard work and dedication?
No, tú sabes que uno tiene que, primero que todo, tiene que trabajar fuerte. Uno el latino tiene que trabajar fuerte primero que todo, para llegar a Grandes Ligas, y segundo, para mantenerse, porque no es llega cualquiera. Yo creo que el factor de nosotros mantenernos en Grandes Ligas, que eso es lo que queremos. Cuando nosotros estamos chiquitos, when we're little, we fall in love with this game. Who were some of your favorite baseball players growing up? Miguel Cabrera. Yo siempre vi a Miguel Cabrera desde que estaba niño. Veía mucho a La Melaza, a David Ortiz. Mi papá también era un modelo a seguir mío todavía. Y yo creo que yo me fijaba mucho en esos peloteros y siempre decía que quería ser como él. Y eso es perfecto. Miguel Cabrera, he won that award 5 times, so ahora tú tienes uno. Now you need 4. Now you need 4 more to get there to Miguel Cabrera. Un mensaje, one more last message to todos los viewers que están aquí. No, nada, mi gente, gracias por el apoyo, gracias por enviarnos toda esa bendición a todos los peloteros latinos que estamos aquí en Grandes Ligas, y nada, gracias por su apoyo. Estamos aquí.
Nice. Hector, so nice, Hector. You are really, really blossoming just before our very eyes. You're getting better and better and better, and so professional. Great interview there, really engaging with Acuna. I love how you mixed in the Spanish and the English in a really accessible way for both constituent parties that are watching the video. So you got English speakers and you got Spanish speakers, and you kind of did this fusion blend. It was really well done. Yeah,
and in the chat, damn, we Latinos, we really speak fast. Absolutely, we speak fast. Because Ronald, shout out to Ronald Acuna. Again, a great conversation. Yesterday was one of the first times that I had clubhouse access at Citi Field. I've had it before at Yankee Stadium. So that was pretty good, pretty cool being able to go into the clubhouse, into the Braves clubhouse, to get some behind the scenes action there. And it's like, there's a threshold that you pass, and it's like no cameras. Can't have no cameras, anything like that. And when you're in that environment, it's so really like, wow, these are actually Major League Baseball players. They're getting ready for the game. This is how they get ready for the game. You know what's funny? What was in the corner? You know who I saw yesterday, Grace? Alex Verdugo, because he's on the Braves right now. Right? So he walked through the clubhouse, and Alex Verdugo was playing golf. They had like a mini golf setup with like some tees, and him and another player on the Braves were playing golf. Then they had in the corner, they had Scrabble, they had Monopoly, they had a lot of games. They could just like take their time. It's dope. It's dope to be able to get that behind the scenes at the game. And like I said, guys, make sure you guys follow us on TikTok. Follow Uptown Sports TV on TikTok. When I'm at the games, I'm going live from the field. So I'm live from the field on TikTok, like right there with the players. Last week at the Yankee game, I was able to get Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, some of the Oriole players on the live. So guys, make sure you guys are following. There's no content creators out there that are giving you behind the scenes from the field going live like we do on Uptown Sports TV. I just wanted to drop that in there real quick.
Yeah, great plug. I totally love that. That's amazing. And I love it when you text me privately all the really, really cool content that's just for me. Oh, by the way, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I was watching the Orioles Yankees game, and Rob Long, I think is his name, was one of the sideline reporters that they had on the what's it called, Roku broadcast. And I'm watching it, and I was like, this guy is great. Who is this guy? So I looked him up. Apparently he's a Orioles guy who they had contracted to do this broadcast for Roku. They had Buck Showalter, who was a former, obviously, Orioles and Yankees manager. They had, who was that guy that they had in there also in the broadcast that was a former Yankee? I can't remember. Oh, God, what's his name? I see his face.
Cal
He does,
Ripken?
no, he does the hot stove all the time. Oh, God, I can't remember. I'm going to kick myself later. Anyway, they had some people from the Yankees. They had some people from the Orioles. They did like a fusion little thing. Well, anyway, a long story short, I've lost the plot. But the point is, I found Rob Long on Twitter, and I sent him a thing, and I said, hey, I'm watching the broadcast. I'm a Yankees fan. You're fantastic. You're doing a great job, and I'm really enjoying the broadcast and the interviews. And this is in the middle of the game. And I sent that, and I'm watching the game, like maybe like the next half inning or something. I get a notification on my phone, and it's Rob Long, and he responded to me during the game and was like, thank you. And I was like, oh my God. I told my husband, I'm like, oh my God, Hector's sending me videos from the the dugout, whatever. And Rob Long is messaging me on Twitter. Like, I am like really in it.
You're an insider, Grace.
I feel
You're
really
as an insider,
no,
Grace.
I'm sitting my ass on my couch in Texas, just pretending to be close to the action. But I am gonna go to see the Yankees when they come in town in August. They're playing the Rangers, and I'll be driving over to the stadium. I'll be there at one of the games. So I'm really, really excited to actually get to see my Yankees in person. But yeah, y'all make me feel included. I really appreciate that, Hector. So you're awesome. Like I said, I'm just riding your coattails, baby. So
Nah, listen, this is a family. This is a team work effort. Trust me, Grace. Listen, when I'm at this, I kid you not, Grace. I swear on my dog Hank that passed away. I swear on everything that's holy. When I'm at the stadium, there's 2 or 3 Latino journalists that comes up to me to talk about our show and to talk about you.
no.
I swear. There's one guy named Francis. He's like, listen, that girl, she knows what she's talking about. I love watching you guys and stuff like that. So, Grace, just know you got beat reporters, you got journalists, you got folks that watch the Yankees that listen to what you're saying when it comes to this team.
That's so sweet.
But there was something that happened in Major League Baseball that I want to take the last 12 to 10 minutes for us to talk about before we get out of here at 12:30. At 1:30. And that's what happened between Ketel Marte and a fan in Chicago. If you guys don't know, Ketel Marte's mom passed away, and for some reason, some fan, some heckler thought it was smart to go and heckle him and talk about him. This was the manager. Calling him a dumb, you know what? You started, and this was the kid. This is the kid right here. You see what I'm not sure if you guys can see my arrow, but my arrow is over his head. This is the kid right here that I said it, and he tried to say, "Oh, I just said say hi to your mom." Right, and this was Ketel Marte on a Dominican podcast talking about it.
Ketel Marte rompe el silencio de lo ocurrido con Fanático.
So I don't have the English translation, but what he's saying, if you watch this, right, what he's saying is that the fan kept telling him, "I'm going to visit your moms tonight. I'm going to see your moms tonight. I'm going to go visit your mom and say hi to her tonight." We talked about this, Grace. They talked about it on Foul Territory. Just because you buy a ticket to the game and pass that gate doesn't mean you get to just say whatever you want to these players. At the end of the day, they are human beings, and there should be a thin line that is thinner than this goddamn paper that's in my hand. There should be a thin line that you do not cross when it comes between the athlete and the fan. I understand fandom. I get it. The word fan comes from that word fandom, right? Fanatic. I understand that. but you have to be responsible at the end of the day. You should not go to the game and feel you could just say whatever the hell you want to this player. If it was a fan that was a Yankee fan, I would have the same smoke. The same way how when those idiot Yankee fans during the World Series was grabbing Mookie Betts' glove, they are idiots. They don't represent the entire fandom of the Yankee universe. They don't represent Anna Marie in the chat. They don't represent Big Time Jerry in the chat. Just like this fan at the White Sox game, he doesn't represent my homie Chicago White Sox fan, White Sox Louie, right? He don't represent him. He doesn't represent the entire White Sox fan base that was at that stadium. And I appreciate the fact that Major League Baseball was able to identify who this fan is, and now he's banned for life from every Major League Baseball stadium that is out there.
I'm kind of at a loss for words over this because to me,
and I'm sorry for cussing. I'm sorry. I know there's some people that, I'm sorry, for taking names in vain. I do apologize that. Sorry about that.
I just really worry about our society as a whole and how we've lost our humanity. I mean, what are we doing? What's wrong with people? That you have so much anger. It's one thing to love a baseball team, but if you have so much anger that you're going to go out and be absolutely so incredibly hateful, I mean, it's extremely concerning. The reason MLB banned him from all stadiums is to set a precedent that this is unacceptable going forward. Every fan needs to know that MLB is going to have their players back, and they're not going to allow this to happen. So don't do it anymore. It's not so much about that fan as I think setting a standard going forward. And unfortunately or fortunately, they're using this fan to make that standard. But it's the same thing that you see online where people go and they say things online that they would never say to someone's face. They use it to vent out all this hate and anger. They think they can say or yell whatever they want at an athlete. I mean, we've seen it over and over, not just with Ketel Marte, with many athletes that get heckled constantly from these hateful people. It is sad. It is horrible. I loved how the manager stood up for his player, like in the moment, held him on the field, let him cry, like literally wiped his tears, held him, had him as a father figure. They asked him after the game, he said, "I'm a father figure to my player." And what would your dad do in that? You know what I mean? Like, he had his back. I love to see that. It made me like that manager so much. Ketel Marte is possibly the nicest human being that you could ever meet or know ever. And so the fact that it happened to him, similar to Mookie, who is universally loved, I mean, it's a completely different situation, but just saying that player is universally loved and adored. And to have it happen to him was just the icing on the cake. This whole thing was disgusting. And I have nothing else to say.
When I was at the Lindome series, right, which is the Dominican series during the off season, they had the games at Citi Field, right? Licey and Los Aguilas, and Ketel Marte was there. We had great interaction with Ketel Marte. And like you said, Grace, one of the nicest guys in Major League Baseball is Ketel Marte, right? So again, I agree with you. I'm glad that Major League Baseball nipped that in the butt. And as fans, we should be able to hold other fans accountable, call them out for their bad behavior. The fact that that kid or that young man thought it was okay I'm going to go to the Major League Baseball and I'm going to say this to a Major League Baseball player. It's the same way how, Grace, I thought it was distasteful that 12, 13-year-old kids felt it was okay to go up to Garrett Cole and ask him, "Hey, do you like Trevor Bauer?" Like, what are we doing? What are we
It's like
doing?
you're not talking about the game anymore at that point. You're making it personal, and you're going to a place that, it's inappropriate. It's uncalled for. I mean, you can add so many adjectives in there. It's not about baseball anymore at this point. You're just being a hateful human.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. I want to shout out my guy David Cohen in the building. David, I hope all is well. Haven't seen you in a minute in the chat. Shout out to my guy David Cohen, who says that I agree with. He should have been held accountable for his actions 100%. Anna Marie says, Hector, we learned as kids not to do your mama jokes. Family is off limits 100%. And like Anna Marie just said, kindness is free. If there's one thing that I always preach, is kindness, right? If you are a hateful individual towards other people, you're going to get some hate from me 100%. But the one thing that I do preach is kindness, is love, and it's about caring for other people. The moment that somebody steps out of pocket or steps out of line and starts being hateful towards other people, then the gloves come off and we're going to go down and we're going to get into the box and we're going to fight for 30 seconds. And I'm going to give you the best 30 seconds of your life. But if there's one thing that I do preach, there's one thing that this chat preaches as well, is we're just here to have baseball conversation. We're here to enjoy the sport of baseball. Let's just enjoy the sport of baseball and let's enjoy that shit together. Shout out to my guy Mikey Caliendo in the chat. My man Roro is in the building, who said Cattell should have been allowed 10 minutes in a room alone with the kid. Just saying. 100%, Mike. 100%, Roro. 100%. Grace, anything else you want to touch on before we get out of this? Something that can cheer us all up.
Something that can cheer us up. We're playing the Athletics this weekend. We should sweep them. We need to sweep them. We must sweep them. I need this to be the future and the reality that is about to happen, because it's been a tough couple weeks here on Yankees Morning Brew, and we definitely need something good, and we need something good to happen a couple of times, not just one time. Last night was great, but let's build on it. Let's go forward. The Athletics are kind of reeling right now. So we definitely need to take advantage. And like I said, y'all, I say this all the time. The Yankees, they win games they're not supposed to win. They lose games they're supposed to they lose games they're supposed to win. They win games they're supposed to lose. So let's snap at that. Let's actually win games we're supposed to win this weekend versus the Athletics.
Yes, and like Anna Marie just said, the heat wave is over in New York City. Thank God, Grace, because I couldn't go. I don't know how y'all do it down there in the boot of Texas. I don't know how y'all do it, but I can't deal with 95, 100 degrees weather every day. I can't deal with it. My AC is in the window crying and screaming because he hasn't had a day off because of this damn heat wave. But like Anna says, the heat wave is over. Hopefully the Yankees, when they come back into town, it's weird to see them just go on a road trip for just 3 games just to come back home. But they have a day off. They played 16-something games in a row. Come back, recharge your battery, take today to go and do some therapy, show up at the stadium this weekend. And like Theo Nosebleed section says, don't say the S word, which means sweep. Don't say the S word. We're not saying the S word. We just want them to win the series. We need the Yankees to win a series and get out of the month of June on a good note. No more sour notes. We need a good note for the ending of June, Grace.
Absolutely. Let's leave June behind us. I'm ready.
Please.
I'm ready to move forward.
Please. Oh, wait. One thing I just remembered, just hit my head right now. Devin Williams.
Okay.
Devin Williams has been solid. He has been phenomenal. That game that Carlos Rodon was taken out, I saw a lot of Yankee fans upset that they didn't go 2 innings with Devin Williams when he only had 9 pitches. Grace, I'm going to ask you, how many times do you think Devin Williams pitched multiple innings for the Brewers last year, the year before, and the year before? How many times do you think he's pitched multiple innings?
0.
You are absolutely fucking right. He's never pitched multiple innings. Never.
There you go.
In his entire career, or for the past 4 years.
Specialist.
He's never pitched more than 1 inning. So why are we going to take him out of his funk when it's 100 degrees and have him go out there to pitch another inning, knowing that this man just figured himself out, and now you want to go out there and force him to get out of whack? What are we doing? This is why sometimes I get so frustrated looking at the timeline and looking at the arm string managers that are quick to complain and drag Aaron Boone through the mud. There are moments where Aaron Boone makes some decisions which are questionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with Mark Leiter Jr. after he threw 27 pitches the day before is questionable. But when all you have is JT Brubaker in the bullpen, I'd rather Mark Leiter be out there with a dead arm than throw out JT Brubaker out there just to give up the game. If we're just going to give up the game, might as well just let it be Mark Leiter Jr.
That's true. Which I think Brubaker pitched last night, didn't he? And he did well.
He did okay last night. Yeah, he did okay last night.
I mean, he had it was a totally different situation.
Yeah.
But still, but yeah, I don't know. I question Boone just like everybody else. I question the lineups. I question some of his pinch hitting decisions. I question, a lot. But I just try to tell myself that he knows more than I do about the situation that's going on. And I just have to let it go because I can't do anything. Even though maybe I'll text him during the game and see if he responds, like Rob Long responded to me. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Devin Williams has looked good ever since he started calling his own pitches. He's really changed his whole attitude, his whole demeanor on the mound has changed. It's absolutely great, and obviously Weaver's coming back, or he's back and he's building back up. That's a good thing. So good. The plan's all working out there. We haven't been losing because of the pitching, to be quite fucking frank.
No, we haven't.
So
it's been the hitting. That's why we have been losing. Has been the hitting.
Oh, speaking of pitching, I did want to bring up one more thing before we get out of here. Clark Schmidt. How about old Clarky boy? See, because our pod was canceled on Tuesday. We didn't get to talk about Clark Schmidt's no-hitter that he had going there. And everybody was mad that he got taken out. But even Clark himself was like, I think Clark was on the train of I need to come out. Because the way he acted in the post-game interview was like totally fine. But yeah, that was so exciting. Watching him grow before our eyes. Will Warren, watching him grow before our eyes. I've been so pleased with the unfortunate situation of Garrett Cole going out and our team picking themselves up last year and this year. So it's been great to see.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm right there with you. Again, when it comes to the team that we're watching right now, Clark Schmidt, the improvements that we have seen since he has come back from injury, we said before this last start, the last start, Clark Schmidt, that was the best start of his career. Nah, this last start was the best start of Clark Schmidt's career. And you can see Clark Schmidt is comfortable. You can see that his confidence is through the roof. And you can see the added effect of not only having Garrett Cole in his ear, but having Max Fried in his ear as well has benefited Clark Schmidt tremendously. Just like it's benefited Carlos Rodon, but Clark Schmidt, the younger pitcher out of all of them, has benefited tremendously, having both the Devils in his ear, and that's Garrett Cole and that's Max Fried. I love what I'm seeing from Clark Schmidt. And like I said, the evolution and the growth of Clark Schmidt from the beginning of the season, from spring training getting injured till now, I think has been phenomenal, Grace.
Absolutely. And Will Warren has given so much credit to Garrett Cole over and over in his interviews, and how much Garrett Cole is just an uncle type figure to Will Warren in the from the moment he steps off of the mound and they are talking about everything, he goes over the game plan with him. He absolutely has taken him under his wing and guided him the entire way. And Will Warren has given him all the credit in the world for it. It's been amazing to have that available to Will Warren during this year where he's having to navigate through the growing pains of a first full season at the MLB level. So it's been great. Obviously, I miss Garrett Cole. He's my favorite player. Let's never ever forget that Garrett Cole is my favorite Yankee personally this year. Has been quite a hardship on me not being able to watch my favorite player. But Yeah, I can't wait till next year when we have Garrett Cole and Max Fried and all these other guys. Who knows who they're going to move at the deadline? But if we have Clark Schmidt and we have Luis Hill and we have Garrett Cole and we have Max Fried, I mean, we'll work. I mean, y'all. I mean, I know next year's next year. We got to win the World Series this year. But
I have a question. I have a question, Grace. I have a question, Grace.
What?
You remember when people said that Brian Cashman and the New York Yankees, their farm system can't produce starting pitching? You remember that? You remember that? And you mentioned Clark Schmidt, you mentioned Will Warren, and we have Luis Hill coming back. Those are 3 solid starting pitchers that you could tag into a rotation that already includes Carlos Rodon and Max Fried.
Let's not forget, Houston wanted Luis Hill.
Yeah.
They wanted Luis Hill for Kyle Tucker, right?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Wait, hold on. Do y'all remember that? Because I remember that.
Yeah, let's just say no. People are calling the Yankees to make trades, and they are asking for our pitching. They are asking for our bullpen arms. They are asking for. That's what they're asking for. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else. Don't bait me with Spencer Jones talk. But that being said,
are you talking about Spencer Jones that's been hitting over 500 for the past week? That's Spencer Jones?
Yes, that Spencer Jones. The phone has not been ringing off the hook for Spencer Jones. That's all I'm going to say.
To a degree.
No, not to a degree. I love that he's raising his trade value.
Grace, whenever there's a moment for Grace to be petty, she's going to be petty. In the month of June, Spencer Jones has a .315 batting average. He has 7 home runs. He has an OPS of 1.056, and he has a strikeout percentage that is sitting around 26 to 28%.
This is his second year in AA, so I'm not that impressed with that. I'm sorry.
On one hand, Marcus Stroman struggling at AA. That's not much. On the other hand, well, it's just his second year in AA.
Well, it is.
I got a message from Oswaldo. Hold on, just so everybody know. We got a message from Oswaldo Cabrera, everybody.
So my gente de Latino Sports. It's a beautiful sign that you have to get it. Please follow my guys, follow me, and get this ball.
Just so everybody knows, this past weekend, Mama D's Empanada, we had Oswaldo Cabrera for a beautiful autograph signing. It was amazing. Oswaldo Cabrera, that man, even on a bum leg, even with his foot in a boot, Grace, that man was standing the entire time, hugging people, greeting people. The fact, Grace, and I swear on everything, I kid you not, when people were going, guys in the chat, people were going up to Oswaldo like, hey, do you remember this picture that we took together? Do you remember this? And he'll look at it and be like, oh yeah, this is in 2001 at the autograph signing here. Oh, this was in 2023 and the autograph signing here. Oh, this is in 2022. Oh, this is the first one I did with Frank. Knowing exactly where he met each and every person that asked him, do you remember this? Again, Oswaldo Cabrera, man of the people, my favorite Yankee of all time. Being able to just spend that moment with him, I have him up there as one of my favorite Yankees of all time. But being able to spend that day with him at the event, I was on TikTok Live, and Oswaldo was like my co-host, Grace, like coming over every like few seconds, like, hey, Chad, how we doing? Hector's doing great. Hector, how you doing? How you feeling about? And at the end of the night, me, Caleb, my girlfriend Alex, the family from Mama D, to be able to break bread with Oswaldo and have dinner with him, his fiance Frank Luna, it was amazing. This past Sunday was the payoff for all the hard work, all the sleepless nights, busting my ass, staying up, editing footage. It was all paid off this past weekend, this past Sunday, having that moment with Oswaldo.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oswaldo seems, I know I told this story before about Frank Luna when I asked him, who's the nicest Yankee and why is it Oswaldo Cabrera? And he said, "You're right. It is Oswaldo." This was like last year. I mean, he's such a gem of a human. We love him. We miss him so much. Oswaldo, if you're out there, we miss you. We love you. Get better soon.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Give me 1 second, y'all. And we're going to end it right now. Hold on. See if I can play it. See if I think the video may be a little bit too long. No.
We are here live.
Say hello to the chat.
How is the chat doing? I hope you guys are doing great. We are here coming to get you empanadas because I didn't try yet, but people say that they are delicious, so I have to try it.
Oh my god, so sweet. I told you he's giving golden retriever energy.
Yes.
Like, hi, how are you? You know, like that, like in your face, like licking you all over. You're like, get down.
Yeah. They also had a dunk tank there. Like they had a dunk tank where you could like throw the ball to like hit the clown in the water, whatever. They had somebody dressed. It was a Met fan dressed in a Mets jersey with a Juan Soto Mets jersey, which was hilarious. And Oswaldo with a bum leg trying to throw it and like to hit him or whatever. He couldn't. And then they just came and just hit the thing and knocked it through. Again,
oh, how funny.
Shout out to Oswaldo. If you guys missed this event out at Mama D's Empanada, there will be another one with another Yankee. When it's official, we'll drop it and we'll announce it. Latino Sports will be teaming up with Mama D's Empanada to help them run it, just like we did this past Sunday. It was beautiful. Shout out to the family over there at Mama D's Empanada, Steve and Mama D. It's amazing. Make sure you guys go over there and have that food. Talking about food, we got to go because I got to get me food. I'm hungry. Grace, I know you ready to go because you got to get yourself some food. And I know you're hungry. Shout out to Anna Marie, who was in the building. Tina was in the building. Our friend David Cohen joined us today. Big time Jerry Cadell. My man Future was in the building. Future, I see you. He says Grace is hating on Jones. Oh, I see how it is now. Shout out to my man Future, who is in the building. I appreciate you. Eric Cat, salute. Our man Eddie Snaps is in the building. Thank you, Theo Nosebleed section as well. Big time Jerry Cadell. Folks, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. Like always, I'm your guy Hector.
I'm Grace Monroe.
This is the Yankees
Morning Brew.
We will be back next week, Tuesday. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. We are on everything. And until next time, you beautiful individuals, deuces. Bye. Arriba the dirt sheet. We out of here.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.